The following program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.
Hi, my name is Leo Connors, and welcome to The Ring and All Other Sports. My special guest today is metahuman, supervillain, insane Dick Lane.
Haha, it is I, Dick Lane.
Thanks for coming on, man.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
Not a problem. All right, we're going to get right into it. Where did you grow up?
Norwood, Massachusetts, a small town just south of Boston.
Okay. When did you first see pro wrestling?
I saw it, as a kid, I saw, Undertaker and Ultimate Warrior and Hulk Hogan, but I didn't really watch it. My friends had toys and they had the pillow buddy beat 'em up things and stuff.
I remember those things, yeah.
So I'd go over a kid's house and I'd see it and I'd be like, what's that all about?
Right.
And then at some point I remember my first memory of seeing wrestling was seeing the Undertaker's entrance. Many years ago, yeah.
Nice. Well, seeing you brought up seeing that what Undertaker was one of the first ones. Did you happen to watch it last night? His final farewell.
Yeah, I was kind of disappointed.
Me too. I thought it would have been a little better, to be honest. But
I think everybody at this point would have had him retire against one of the Shawn Michaels matches he had or one of the Triple H matches he had.
Yeah.
Because the stuff after that has been kind of meh.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And those Michaels matches were incredible. Triple H's matches were good too, but those Shawn Michaels matches, I think Shawn Michaels has said that one of them is his favorite match of all time.
Yeah. I think the first one was amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was the first one that he said too.
Yeah. When he wore the whole white suit.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was a great, they had great matches together. All right. Who were some of your favorites? Must have been the guys you just named probably, right?
I really started to get into wrestling as the Attitude Era started to happen.
Yeah.
So I was in junior high school. My first kind of favorites were DDP and Raven and Benoit.
Yeah.
That kind of mid-card thing going on with WCW.
Right.
All the WCW cruiserweights, which everybody brings up.
Right.
But yeah, I played the N64 video game and I was like, oh, look, the Macho Man still wrestles. He's in this video game. The Hulk Hogan still wrestles. He's in this game. And then I started to watch it and, it took off from there, yeah.
Nice. So you got into it in the Monday Night Wars, which was an unbelievable time to be a wrestling fan. All right. When did you go to your first show?
I went to WWE shows as a kid, but I never went to an indie show until my mid-20s.
Wow. Now, what was the indie show that you went to? Do you remember which
NCW.
one? It was, okay, yeah.
Because it was right next to my house, actually.
Right.
My house was literally 2 houses down from the building that NCW ran in Norwood. Nice. So I was like, I'm going to that. I'm checking it out. And yeah.
Nice. All right.
Actually, that's how I started wrestling. I met T. Phoenix at that same show.
Oh, wow.
And he was talking to me and my friend Alan, who went on to become Dr. Cobblepot.
Yes.
He was talking to us. And
the mad scientist.
Yeah. And he was like, we have training. You guys should come down and check it out. And we did. And that's how my career started.
That is pretty awesome because that was one of my next questions. But first of all, how old were you when you knew you wanted to be a wrestler?
I started training when I was 28.
Oh, wow. That's late for most people.
That's very late, yeah.
Wow. No
so, which is about exactly 8 years ago, I started training.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. That really is. And you were trained by, you just said, T. Phoenix.
Well, no, he was running, he was in control of the RWA. He was running the RWA. The RWA's trainer was JT Dunn.
Oh, all right.
So I trained with JT Dunn for about a year and a half there. Nice. And then Biff came in. Yeah. And I trained with Biff for about 6 months. Yeah.
That's awesome. JT Dunn is one of the best workers around here.
Yes.
He's incredible. A lot of people go, oh, he's too short. He's got but his finishing maneuver, the death by elbow, you can knock anybody out with that. With your elbow. So it's really good.
Very convincing, yeah.
Who else was in the class? You just said Biff. Was there anybody else?
So my original class with JT Dunn was Jim and Jack Connor, Isana, Frank the Crank, Tony P, the referee.
Yep.
Frank the Crank. Michael Santana. Nick Marchand. And that was kind of like the base group.
Nice, and you got a few of them that have stuck around and stuck it out.
Actually, the biggest name amongst those names is probably Tony P, the referee.
Right?
He's a referee all over New England at all the major promotions.
Yeah, he's a good ref too.
Yep.
Actually, there's somebody posted today. Actually, it was King Leon, the Black Blade, asked who their favorite referees were, and I was like referee Rich Lannon and Kevin Quinn. But then I'm like, wait a minute, man. I went back. It's like I respect and like every referee in New England.
Yeah.
Got to give him some credit there. All right. How about tell us about your first match?
It was completely horrible.
Was it?
So I did training with JT Dunn for 1.5 years. I trained for another 6 months with Biff Busick. T Phoenix wanted to start bringing me into the shows because I even though my wrestling wasn't quite there, I had the character.
Right.
Dr. Cobblepot Allen, he had a very developed promo that he could cut. So we would come out and do like these little segments where he would be like, let me demonstrate my creature's superhuman abilities. So I'd go out against some big giant guy and we would do some kind of trick so that I would overpower him and stuff like that.
Yeah, because you had a lot of mystical powers back then, right?
Mm-hmm.
You still do? Are you still superhero?
I still
super villain.
I still dabble in the supernatural, yeah.
Nice. All right. So let's get into the fan questions. I told you off air that I have one right off the bat.
Okay.
What's up with the Dick Busters? Because you guys are a great group. So I'm just curious, are you guys gonna, when wrestling opens back up again, are you guys still together?
To me, I'm Dick Lane. I'm the heart of the Dick Busters. It's called the Dick Busters.
Right.
Right. Okay. So Derek Simonetti, he's a little upset with me. Let me explain the whole situation.
Yes, please do. Please do.
There's a proving ground show going on. I had wrestled my match. My match was over. I went on to handle other business. Now, later in the show, he decides to go out to the ring and he gets attacked by some guys.
Right.
And he got beat up pretty bad. Now, he was sour at me because I wasn't there to run out there and save him.
Right.
Now, I had my own business going on.
Right.
You know what I mean? And he's supposed to be my friend. He should be forgiving me.
Absolutely.
And
was he mad at the other guys? Did the other guys go save him?
He did, but he was mostly mad at me for some reason.
Right.
Now, there are some other things going on that I can't talk about.
I understand.
And this broadcast is being monitored right now. My communications are being monitored. I can't talk about the real reason why I missed saving him.
Okay.
But, well, yeah, I don't want to get into it.
I totally understand, and that's fine. All right, so let's get more fan questions. Frank Smith, ask him who R.L. Lane is, please. Who's R.L. Lane?
Okay, so after my first couple years in training, I started to try to get out there. I had started wrestling at the other smaller promotions at the Chop Shop, MAW, RICW.
Yeah.
And I heard about Showcase Wrestling.
Right.
So I was like, oh.
Chris Blackheart, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
So I went there. I went to a couple trainings there with their guys because I wanted to get out and get training from as many different people as possible.
Smart.
So they began to book me. But when they started to book me, they wouldn't tell me I was booked. So like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's weird.
So Derek Conway is at the show. He's wrestling. He's like, hey, you're on the card. It's on the wall right now. Like, you need to get down here. And I'm like, oh crap. So I'd run down there.
Good thing he said something.
So there was that communication issue, but also they didn't want to call me Dick Lane because they didn't want to say Dick and they didn't want the crowd chanting Dick, Dick, Dick.
Right. I get it.
So they called me R.L. Lane, which is kind of a bad
your
name.
initials anyways,
Yeah.
right?
So I had no issue with Showcase and the way that they were using me because I was a new guy.
Right.
I didn't expect to be pushed to the moon.
Right.
But because they were calling me R.L. Lane, I was getting teased all the time by my Chop Shop friends and stuff.
Right. Yep.
So eventually I just kind of stopped going there.
Okay.
And no issue with Chris Blackheart or Showcase or any of the people there, any of the guys there. I was just getting teased so much, and I had other bookings going on, so I kind of stopped showing up.
No problem. And that's a great promotion. And I haven't seen Chris Blackheart wrestle in a long time. I need to get to some of his shows. Great guy. How about King Leon, the Black Blade King Leon wants to know, besides Chris Hero, who was your motivation to wrestle? I had no idea that Chris Hero was one of the guys.
Chris Hero is my favorite wrestler.
Nice. He's good.
He's just all around so good.
Yeah.
He can do so many different things.
Right.
And he's had so many different phases of his career that he's improved and improved and improved.
Right. You trained his ex-tag team partner too.
Yes.
In Death by Elbow.
Yeah, that was one of the things that drew me to JT Dunn, was because he had sort of a similar type of thing going on.
Yeah.
But actually, this is going to make me sound like a mark.
Oh, don't worry about it. We're all marks.
The kind of rise of Daniel Bryan in the WWE, that completely captivated me as a viewer.
Yep.
To see that Ring of Honor high work rate style of wrestler being pushed to the elevated status that he did in the WWE in that slow build.
Right.
It really motivated me.
Nice.
That I could be a wrestler. I don't know.
No, that's cool. That's awesome, though. It really is. I mean, Daniel Bryan, he had everything thrown in his way to not succeed. Calling him a B player and all that, and he just kept going. Daniel Bryan's one of the nicest guys I've ever met, too. He really is.
You met him?
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, all right, I might as well say it, because McCheese is going to say it later anyways if I bring it up. I used to cater shows for Ring of Honor.
Okay.
Back when, in 2002 to 2004. All right, so McCheese, you could say it again, that Leo was talking about his catering jobs at ROH.
Yeah, so most guys are like, I was influenced by, these classic wrestlers. And I'm like, I like Daniel Bryan from 5 years ago, you know? So
he's one of the best wrestlers. He's still one of the best wrestlers.
Yeah.
So you definitely picked the right guys to want to, emulate.
Yeah.
All right, Dave Destro, Dave Delafontaine, very good friend of the show, shares everything. What match have you not had but wish you could have in 2020?
I was going to be wrestling Kellen Thomas.
Oh, okay.
I was really looking forward to that. Yep.
Good wrestler.
Who else? Tony Spencer.
Yeah.
I've yet to wrestle Tony Spencer.
Oh, wow.
And I think our styles would mesh up really well.
Yeah, I think it would be an interesting match for sure.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. I hope I don't get it. Peter Girardi, I think that's right. When indie wrestling returns to some kind of normal, what matches are you looking forward to seeing or participating in?
I would really like to get in the ring with Johnny Cockstrong again.
Yeah. You wrestled Johnny?
Yes, I wrestled him. So we had to kind of have the battle of the telekinetic chokeslam. Yep. Who else?
He's quite the character too, huh? Johnny Cockstrong.
Yeah,
he really is.
Yeah, that was a perfectly made match.
Now, where did you wrestle him? For who?
It was I'm sorry. It was Outside the Box Wrestling.
Is that in Rhode Island?
It was, yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. Let's see. Donnie M. Masters. Ask him what's really going on with the Dick Busters you just did, and will they ever be a team again? You hope so, at least, right? You think you will be.
Derek Simonetti is an emotional guy.
Yeah,
as you might know.
Yes, I know.
From his crying on this show. But he'll get over it.
Yes, he will.
I'm his boy. He'll forgive me.
All right. That was good. Ken Watson, what has been your greatest achievement in your career so far?
I consider winning the Providence Championship at Wrestle Party.
Okay.
Really kind of something that really motivated me in the current state of my career. Just because that promotion is so different.
Right.
And there's tons of talented people there. And there's so many talented people that he could have pushed and put the championship with.
Right.
And he chose me.
That's awesome.
So, I don't know.
That's your greatest moment. Yeah. That's awesome. That's a really good. Thanks, Ken. Jerry Lane. What was your reaction when you found out you were my nephew? You're not Jerry's nephew, are you?
Jerry Lane comes up to me at every show in New England and makes this same joke. It's not that funny. We have the same last name. Ha, ha, ha. No, but Jerry, you're an all right guy.
He is a good guy. He is. All right. Matthew McGee, Freight Train. Who are your top 5 indie wrestlers you would like to face that you haven't yet? Great question.
I would like to work, I guess, Danhausen. I don't really know much about his thing. I haven't seen much of him, but
awesome.
The stuff that I have seen and the character work that I've seen, I feel like we would work well together.
Yeah, I think so.
Who else? I always want to wrestle Dave Cole, and I know he's retired.
Right.
But I would like to wrestle Dave Cole. Some other people I would want to work with are all the people that were there at my, like, when I first started, that were in the training when I was so horrible and so bad. And I would like an opportunity to prove to them that I've grown. You know what I mean? So, like, Triplicious, Trigger the OG, Anthony Stone was somebody that was in my training a lot, helping out.
I like Anthony Stone, too.
JT Dunn himself.
Yep.
So all those guys that saw me when I was just a piece of crap and see what I've become now and see that I can do stuff. You know.
All right. That's awesome. All right. Ryan Whittier wants to know, what are some things you hope to achieve in your career? Do you have any goals, big goals?
My main goal is to just keep doing this as long as I can do it and to help as many people as I can to get the best out of them and to teach them lessons that I had trouble learning along my way and stuff like that. I have no delusions of making it to television or anything.
So you just want to just continue to wrestle and help guys that come up.
Yeah, wrestling is an art to me.
Yes.
And I get my fulfillment just from wrestling.
Right. Okay. I know I'm going to butcher this guy's name because they told me how to say it last time. And Ben Cassieri.
Oh, yeah.
How do you say it?
Ben, I think you had it right the first time.
We'll call it that. Ben Cassieri. If I'm wrong, please hit me up. What makes Dick Lane insane?
It's a combination of genetic tampering from Dr. Cobblepot and exposure to inhaled chemicals that I like to procure.
Okay. Sounds good. Dave Delafonte, Dave Destro has another question. What has been your biggest influences in your career? I'm sure you touched a little bit up on it.
Yeah, Daniel Bryan, Chris Hero. For character stuff, you know, the Hurricane, obviously. Nova from ECW, another superhero type character. Yeah, and all those other people I already named.
Nice. All right. Let's see. Next, he has a second question. A third question, I should say. What can we see from Dick Lane in 2021? Well, let's hope wrestling opens up first of all.
I don't think any wrestler knows what they're going to see of them in 2021 with the way things are.
You just want to be seen, right?
Yeah, but hopefully I'm wrestling again. Right. I've had the fortunate opportunity to be on tapings and stuff.
Okay.
I've been going up and helping at WAW and wrestling with those guys.
Yep. That's in Manchester, correct?
Yeah.
Or they move? Oh, that's in Manchester.
Who else? Yeah, I mean, I've had the opportunity to wrestle, thank God, and stay sharp. But yeah, that's pretty much.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, we just want wrestling to exist.
Exactly. All right. Another guy that we both like, Bobby Rossi.
Oh, yeah.
All right. How about your high school amateur background? Did it help you in becoming a pro wrestler? I had no idea. You wrestled in high school?
I wrestled in high school.
Oh, nice.
I mean, I was pretty good at the level I was at.
Right.
I would make it to like the state tournament, but once I got to that state tournament, I would get my ass handed to me.
Yeah. That's all right, though. But still, how long did you amateur wrestle for?
Just the 4 years of high school.
Oh, that's it? You didn't even get into it before high school?
No.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, my town didn't have real like wrestling in junior high school and stuff.
Okay.
But I hopped right on it because I was in love with the wrestling on TV. Right. But when I first started, there was some little just technical things, motions like shooting the half and stuff.
Right.
Just like little things to make it look more realistic. I had already.
Right.
And lately I've been trying to implement more technical, amateur looking stuff to the repertoire. And it's been mixed results for me so far.
Right. Well, keep working at it. That's all. You'll find exactly what you need. All right. Bobby also wants to know, what kind of impact, mark, or impression would you like to leave on wrestling in general or on the indie scene of your local indie scene?
I mean, again, I would like to help the people around me as much as possible. But for me, it's like when you go to an independent show, there's tons of like little insignificant things that the wrestlers do that they don't even think about, but somebody in the crowd might never forget it. You know what I mean?
That's true.
There's tons of things. There's tons. I can't even think of a specific example, but there's so many little things that a wrestler does and that you don't realize that you're doing that people are going to remember.
Right.
And that will always be in those people's memories.
Nice.
So when you have a match and you have these moments that people aren't going to forget, that's leaving a legacy for yourself. You know what I mean?
It really is. And I know a lot of guys that do training now, like their careers are over, and they all say they love giving back. It really keeps them a part of the business. So, all right. Let's see next. Mr. Ooh La La. Do you know Mr. Ooh La La?
No.
He's from ECWA fame, great independent wrestler. How did you arrive at this point? That's a tough question to answer.
Yeah, I don't know. I had always loved wrestling. I backyard wrestled for many years because I loved wrestling. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I just loved wrestling so much that I kept following it. And then I started going to training. And then I took, it's just one step after another.
Right.
Where you like wrestling, then you start training to be a wrestler, then you start taking it more seriously, then you start looking for bookings, then you try to get in better shape. It's just all these little steps.
Right.
And one leads to the next step.
Okay, that's awesome. Great answer. He also has one more. What moment in pro wrestling sparked you to pursue this fantastic business?
Again, probably like the Daniel Bryan rise. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to pinpoint. I'm a 36-year-old man. I've seen many wrestling matches.
Right.
I've been watching wrestling for a very long time. My memory isn't that great anymore. But yeah, Daniel Bryan.
All right.
And Chris Hero.
Excellent. got a question from a great guest I've had on this show and a great woman, Teresa Kerr. Not a question, but you can do it. I can't wait to watch this. Senpia? Is that what she's?
Oh, senpai. She calls me senpai.
Senpai.
It's some Japanese thing that means like elder.
Okay. Or you're a little older than her.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. She's awesome too, by the way. She really is. Ryan Brown, if you ended up in the WWE and creative wanted to give you a new gimmick, how receptive would you be?
I play a supervillain.
Right. Who's a good guy.
Yeah. So my gimmick is that I'm a supervillain, but I don't even really play to that gimmick.
Right.
I kind of just am myself when I come out. So I feel like at this point, I could kind of take any gimmick. I've also been doing a wizard gimmick.
Okay.
At Wrestle Party. Yeah. So it's a lot of different gags and stuff like that, using magic wands on people.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah. So I think I could handle a different gimmick.
Okay.
But it would still be the same gimmick.
Right.
It would just be me and whatever gimmick.
All right. AJ Phoenix, he likes to ask questions about himself, and he's going to be here next week. I'm looking forward to it. AJ, just so you know, I'm just teasing you, buddy, because I don't want an 18-year-old kid to kick my ass. Okay? He says, what is your favorite wrestling memory, and why is it fighting a 13-year-old AJ Phoenix?
Yes. So
he's pretty talented, too. Just got to say that for a young kid.
Hell, yeah, definitely. I can't say enough good things about him.
Nice.
But, yeah, when I had just completed my training and I was first starting, I would get my feet wet at these birthday shows.
Okay.
So So families would rent out the shop and wrestlers would come in and they basically have their own private little wrestling show.
Nice.
And cake and presents and stuff for the kids. And yeah, so Austin's first couple matches were against me at those birthday shows.
Cool.
And yeah, so it's been an amazing opportunity to see him rise from so I first met him, he's a 12-year-old kid.
Yeah.
And now he's an amazing wrestler.
Amazing. Smart kid, too.
So I can't wait to see what the future holds for him.
Yeah, me too. I actually told him that. I can't wait because he's got so much more ahead of him, and he's very talented as being so young. All right. Brickhouse Baker. He wants to know, what was your first thought when I said not to do the magic choke slams at his shows?
I had heard that before Brickhouse.
Oh, you did? Someone said that you're not going to do that?
Yeah, there?
Right.
Obviously, I knew that many people weren't going to want that on their show.
Right.
But there were other places that really wanted that on their show.
Absolutely.
And I still run into that problem today. Where one promotion will be like, do as much invisible, crazy stuff as possible. And then another promotion will be like, don't do that hokey stuff on my show. You know what I mean? But yeah, in that situation, it was kind of one of my first times being booked where the promoter was like, don't do any of that stuff.
Right. He's old school too, Brickhouse.
But in the end, it ended up helping me out a lot because I was more prepared to not rely on all that goofy stuff.
And you're not the first one that have done stuff like that. You know what I mean? So I mean, look, remember the tag team from Chikara? They used to hypnotize people. You know what I mean? So it has its place in wrestling, no matter what some people might say.
Yeah.
You know?
Different flavors of ice cream.
Absolutely. All right. Brickhouse's son, David. I'm the best partner you've ever had. Don't at me. Is he the best tag team partner you ever had? Because he's been a guest here too.
I don't know about the best, but it was definitely the craziest partner I ever had. We were in RICW. We tagged for a short while, and it was a lot of fun. But I think my best tag team partner would have to be the good Judge Logan Chambers.
Nice. Good wrestler.
We are also known as the Laws of Science.
Okay. One last question before we get into the name game. From Maverick Wild. I don't think it's a real question, but it's kind of funny. Does Dick Lane intersect with Testicle Avenue? He didn't think I'd ask the question, that's why. Yeah,
come on.
That's right. Just shake it. That's all we could do is like, Mav, what are you doing?
So I don't really. I've never met him personally. So I know him as the guy that trained Tony Spencer.
Yes.
So Maverick Wild.
It's his fault.
I just want you to know that you should take it down a notch because without you, there wouldn't be Tony Spencer. You know, you introduced Tony Spencer to wrestling.
Yes, he did. All right. So when I'm getting the name game, I got a bunch of names down. You know, right? You know the deal. Say something nice, bad, pass, whatever you want to do.
Okay.
Okay. So let's start off with the Black Blade, King Leon.
One of my greatest rivals, actually, at Live Prov, at Wrestle Party, at Proving Ground, at RWA. And I've never seen anybody in my time in wrestling rise to such a level of prominence in such a short time.
Right.
I think he started wrestling like 3 or 4 years ago.
That's it. He's coming up on the show too, so. Wow.
So I don't want to speak for him how long he's been wrestling, but I've never seen anybody rise from literally nothing to the level that he's at.
Yeah, because I had never heard of him. All of a sudden, he was killing it as King Leon the 6th. I mean, really, he really was. I'm not just saying that. He really was doing a great job. All right. How about Derek Conway?
So I owe it to Conway. Wrestling with him.
Yep.
I really learned a lot.
Nice.
He's the type of person that can watch something on television and then just do it.
Nice.
I've never So people give him a lot of
yeah, which is I don't think is right, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
he's a great kid.
He is a great kid. So he hasn't had the traditional training that a lot of people have had.
Yeah.
But when it comes to just being able to see something and then do it, I've never met anybody more talented at that.
Well, he said right here too that he does try to do seminars, which is great. I mean, if you haven't been trained, I think that's a really good idea. You know, or go to wherever you're wrestling that night and say, hey, man, you know, before the show, can you show me some stuff?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's very smart.
And I've been to seminars with him, and he's come down to Brick House trainings and stuff at the Chop and
Good.
stuff.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. How about his better half? All right, Delilah Hayden.
Me and Delilah Hayden have a very complicated relationship.
Oh, okay.
We were technically married for a short time.
That means wrestling everywhere, correct?
Yes.
Yes, I just want the phrase. When they say married, it's not a real marriage. It's
No, but we were married for real too.
Were you really?
Yes. At an NCW show.
Okay.
We were getting married, but Steve the Turtle actually interrupted and ruined the whole wedding.
Turtle, what are you doing? He actually just came up on an anniversary too. I think he's been wrestling like 15 years or something like that. Steve's a great guy.
Another great friend of mine, yes.
All right, now I don't know this person, but it seems to be Delilah's sister, Trixie Hayden.
Oh, man.
I don't even know who that is, to be honest with you.
So she makes sporadic appearances at WAW and OCW. One time
That's Outlaw Championship Wrestling, run by Freight Train.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've wrestled her one time. I was on a team with Delilah Hayden against her and Sean Leda at OCW.
That's on YouTube, right? I think I watched that match.
Yes.
I did. I watched that.
So, yeah, no comment on Trixie Hayden.
Okay.
She has always been sticking her nose in my business, in Delilah Hayden's business, and she's just a nasty person that is jealous of her sister.
Okay, that's a great answer. How about I haven't really mentioned this guy's name on the show too often because I am not familiar with him, but he's got a name similar to mine, Jammin' Jack Connor.
Connor actually was one of the first people in my training class that kind of took me aside and would work with me and help me out because he saw that I was struggling with not the physical side of the wrestling, but more of like the putting matches together, the psychology and stuff. So I worked with him a lot when I first started, and I owe him a lot for that.
Nice. And he's wrestled for House of Bricks.
House of Bricks and RWA.
All right. Did he wrestle for OCW too? Freight Train?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. How about Steven Oliveira?
Oh,
or
man. Stephen Lust.
Stephen Lust. I'm sorry. And the other, and yes, we'll go with him first. Stephen Lust.
Outside of the Dick Busters, he is my main man in professional wrestling.
Nice.
We drive together. We hang out together. Yeah, I just love the guy.
Right. He's been a guest here. He's his tag team partner.
He's the man.
Nice.
I also love the other Steve.
Yes. Well, we bring him up now then.
Okay.
And that's Stephen Broad.
Yes.
Okay.
Better known as Pimp Daddy Apple Cinnamon.
Yes.
So he's been having trouble getting people to bite on that gimmick.
Right, right.
And I would just like to go to bat for him and say
please
that
do.
I think that gimmick is amazing. Pimp Daddy Apple Cinnamon is a great evolution of Stephen Broad.
Nice.
And I can't wait to see more of it as wrestling comes back.
Be careful if you wrestle him because I think he throws cinnamon in people's eyes. Is that true? I think I saw a video of him doing that.
He was snorting cinnamon.
What the? I've snorted a lot of things in my life when I was younger, but I've never snorted cinnamon.
I don't even think cinnamon is a narcotic that can affect your brain.
No.
I think
it would burn your nose.
Yeah. He's crazy.
He is a crazy guy. I actually had him on the show. I might as well bring this guy up too. Antonio Tanacio.
Oh, yeah. I haven't seen him in quite a long time.
Me either.
He
was here?
I tagged with him.
Okay.
I've wrestled him many times. Before and after he became mutated by Tom Billington.
Yes.
But yeah, I wish I saw the guy more. I don't know what happened to him. He disappeared off the face of the earth.
Yeah, it just seems that way. Like I said, he came here and he was he was all dressed up and everything. So it was pretty interesting. It was a very interesting interview.
And he needs to lay off the Newports.
You gotta quit smoking, dude.
That's why his voice is always
Right, right. All right. How about Triple-licious? Trigger the OG, Trips, whatever you want to call him.
Yeah, so he was part of that JT Dunn class. He was like one of the other trainers in the class. And he really was patient with me when I was starting. I could not remember anything.
Right.
They were having me do spots, which is sequences of moves and stuff. I was doing these sequences. I had no idea like what I had, like I was doing it, but I didn't know why I was doing it.
Okay.
I didn't know where it went in the match.
Right.
And I would forget the spots. One of my first match, it was a graduation show for the Biff training class.
Okay.
So this the Biff class actually is where Sully Banger started.
Wow.
It's where Xavier Bell started. Ace Romero was in the class.
Wow. He just moved back to New England.
Yes. Who else? TK Orion was in the class.
Wow.
So there was a lot of great people in that class.
That's for sure.
But yeah, so they had this graduation show and Trip wrestled me. I completely forgot everything. So he just had to beat me up for 5 minutes.
Right.
So I felt so bad. But luckily later in NCW, I got to wrestle him again and kind of prove that I wasn't a complete dolt and redeem myself to him. But I would love to work with him again.
Nice. He had an unbelievable match with JT Dunn when JT was the chaotic wrestling champion. And I remember my friend Dan Boley, who's been on the show many times, was asking me, is Triple-ish, because he had said in the promo before the match that he was like a 13-year veteran or whatever, 16-year veteran. And I went up on the show with Dan, sitting there, putting him over like huge because I've watched him for so long. He is as good, you know what I mean, as almost anybody in New England.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. How about Jose Perez? Another guy, I have a lot of respect for Jose.
I've never trained with Jose, but I have dealt with Jose many times. He was helping at Nova Promotions when I was down there. They would rent the XWA building, and he would kind of help with the booking. Nice. Even before that, anytime I was on a show that he was at, he's just a wonderful guy. He is. He always gives you good advice.
Yep.
He's always trying to help everybody, always trying to help the young guys. Even guys that people kind of put to the side, he kind of helps them and gets them on their feet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's a great guy. His whole family is great people. All right, Todd Sobel.
Todd Sobel.
Yeah.
I wrestled him once at Alkmania.
Controversial guy for sure. Right?
Yes, to many people. I'm not.
You don't like me.
I'm not really involved in the business aspect of professional wrestling. You know what I mean? I don't book shows.
Yeah.
I don't worry about who's renting this building and who's renting this ring. You know what I mean?
He likes to do that.
Yeah. But I mean, I wrestled him. He was one of the only people that said, "Hey, I don't want to do the hokier aspect.
Right.
I don't want to do any of this invisible stuff." Which kind of upset the booker of that show because I was kind of known for that gimmick.
Right. Now, where did you wrestle? Just so
it was at Alkmania.
Okay.
And
with Ryan and Atlee and Todd.
And that was, I was extremely established as this super powered wrestler.
Yeah.
So, and he just didn't want to do that, which was fine. I didn't have a problem with it.
Right.
Personally, but the booking, the people booking the show had more of an issue with it than me.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, I mean, I don't really have any experience dealing with him.
Right. And I'll say this. He don't like me because of little things on the show, but I will always say this. He's great on the mic. He is. And he's a pretty good wrestler.
Yeah.
I just think he has a hard time dealing with people. I think he has a people problem.
Yeah.
But that's just my opinion.
He seems confrontational.
Very. Very. All right. I don't know if you've been seeing the short soda reviews, but I think you might have wrestled them. Jeff Cannonball.
No, I never wrestled.
You never wrestled Jeff?
No.
Okay, we'll move on then. Frank Bones. I know
Frank
you know
Bones.
Frank.
Yes. So Frank Bones is an extremely underrated professional wrestler.
Right.
Because he has not received traditional training,
Yep.
and because he is associated with WAW, people don't even look at him.
Right.
But anytime that he is booked on the show, he does amazing.
Nice.
Every time I've wrestled him,
Yep.
the match has been amazing.
Excellent. Excellent.
I can't say enough nice things about him. And he's
Right.
a nice person.
How about his tag team partner? I don't know if they're still together, but Greedy.
Greedy Bones. Yeah, same thing.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, they both kind of go with each other.
Right.
They're both wonderful guys. I've wrestled them both a lot. And yeah, I think people should give him a shot and people should look at him.
Did you ever meet his ex-girlfriend, Robin Greedy?
I don't think so.
She related to my sister-in-law.
Okay.
All right. How about Robbie E?
Robbie E.
Yeah. Now, did you wrestle him?
Yes, I wrestled him.
Thoughts?
I wrestled him twice. I wrestled him at Elkmania, and I wrestled him in a triple threat with Izzy Starr at MAW.
Oh, nice.
And both times he was a complete gentleman.
Yeah.
He didn't want to do a lot of work.
Yeah.
But that taught me to kind of just that I didn't have to go and do a lot of work.
Right.
I didn't have
Less is more sometimes.
Yes, less was more. I didn't have to bump around, but
Right.
the crowd was still biting up everything that we were doing.
Yeah.
Because we were both just playing our characters so strongly. You know what I mean?
Yep. And it's nice to see him on NXT.
Yes.
You know, as the Robert Stone brand of you guys, that's who Robbie E is. Very talented kid. I don't know if you remember, but he used to be in a tag team that wrestled at Chaotic years ago called the Valedictorians with
Okay.
Billy Bax. They were an incredible tag team.
Yep.
They had some great matches with the Logan brothers.
Okay.
All
And yeah, on NXT, he gets beat up by girls every
All
week.
the time.
But it's wonderful. And he does a great job doing
It's
it.
just great to see that. And I'm glad that you like how you just said he's such a nice guy. I love seeing great things happen to nice people.
Yeah, especially to me. Like he
Right.
he didn't know me from a hole in the wall.
He didn't have to be
And
nice,
he did it
right.
nice to be nice. Yeah, exactly.
That's pretty cool. All right. How about Tom Billington? I'm going to go through the Dick Busters right now. So we'll say Tom Billington first.
So Tom Billington was like the person that they put me with when I first started in the RWA. And I was kind of his minion and his sidekick. And by working with, like, we would wrestle the Middlesex Express a lot when I first started. And yeah, he took me in and became my, like, I didn't have a lot of friends in wrestling.
Okay.
Like, I had just started.
Yep.
So nobody really was hanging out with me or talking to me or wanted to be my friend.
Right.
And he kind of took me in and kind of made me part of the group. You know what I mean?
Excellent. Excellent. How about Sean Leda? Another talented guy. All you guys are talented.
I have never become friends with somebody so quickly
Really?
as Sean Leder. Like, the second I met Sean
Yep.
Leder, we immediately were like best friends.
Right.
Just our personalities couldn't be more similar, I think.
Right.
We're both kind of Shaggy from Scooby-Doo, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I think I'm like that too. But I will say, like how you just said, though, he's easy to get. I met him for the first time at Jimmy Allen's Trooper show.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt that way too. Like, after talking to him, I felt like I've known him forever.
Yeah, exactly.
He's just
yeah.
a cool guy. And I'm definitely going to get him back on the show. He was scheduled, and then his girl had that accident.
Uh-oh. Yeah, she broke her arm, yeah.
Is she doing better?
Yes.
Excellent. I'm glad to hear that. And the last of the Dick Busters, a guy that was here a couple weeks ago, Todd Graham, Derek Simonetti.
Derek Simonetti is a mad scientist when it comes to professional wrestling. He's doing things very differently.
Yes.
He's not afraid to do things differently.
That's right. He ain't afraid to speak his mind.
He's
either,
not afraid to
which I
speak
love.
his mind.
I love that.
Sometimes he gets emotionally caught up
Yep.
within the wrestling business. But that's part of what makes him such
'Cause
a
he's
passionate
passionate.
person.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No doubt. That was a great. We said it at the same time. All right. How about David Baker?
David Baker. So when I first saw David Baker, I was like, oh my God, that guy's a maniac.
He's going to kill me.
He's going to kill me. I got to stay away from that guy. Yeah. But then every time I talked to him, he was like just the nicest, funniest person.
Right.
And for some reason, he kind of took me in and took me under his wing, and he never treated me badly.
That's good.
He helped me out. And he's become one of my good friends.
Nice. All right. How about his brother, Devin Baker, who's coming on the show in a few weeks?
Yeah, I've dealt with the whole family quite a bit.
Good family.
And people kind of push Devin to the side, and they think that he's the worst baker.
Yeah.
But out of all the bakers, he almost has more personality than the other bakers. And he has a humor to him that a lot of people don't have in wrestling. And he kind of takes wrestling as entertainment.
Okay. Now it's funny because I know Brickhouse good and I got to know David good, but I don't really know Devin too good, and he's coming on the show, so I'm really
He'll be a wonderful guest.
That.
He's a funny guy.
All right. How about Fox Butt? Do you know who that is?
Fox Bot?
Yeah, is that who?
Oh.
Fox Bot, yeah. Who is that?
That is Amanda Fox.
Oh, okay. Oh, it is.
So this is many years ago at an RWA show. They were looking for wacky gimmicks to incorporate with mine. So one of those gimmicks was the Fox Bot, and that was Amanda Fox as a Terminator robot.
Right.
And she had super strength and threw me around the ring like she was Andre the Giant. And that was the gimmick of that match. But other than that, I don't think that, other than that one match, I don't think she ever did that gimmick again.
Oh, wow. No kidding.
Yeah.
All right. How about Where I Met You? New World Wrestling Extreme promoter, James Allen. Or, as I always call him, Trooper.
I immediately fell in love with that man when I met
awesome.
him. He's very old school.
Yes. Very much an old school.
Very 80s style promoter. And honestly, I've never had more fun at a show. Right. They have a bar set up. They have food everywhere in the back for all the boys.
Yeah, that's me.
I'm doing
party. The food.
So I'm there to wrestle, and I'm there to put on a show. But I'm also having a great time. It's like a party in the back. It's like an amazing time. Yeah,
Jimmy's a great guy. I've known him for almost 20 years, probably over 20 years. Just a super guy. How about John Thornhill?
Oh man. Okay, so I went to high school with John Thornhill.
Oh wow.
I backyard wrestled with John Thornhill for the entire my entire high school career. Every time that there was a half day at high school, we would have all the kids come and watch us backyard wrestle. And it got to the point that there was like 100 kids in this backyard, and police would come. Police would show up, and instead of breaking it up, they'd stand there and watch us wrestle in the backyard. It was amazing.
That's cool.
We actually got ourselves booked on a real show in high school many, many years ago in like 2002.
Wow.
So, and then after that, I just fell off of wrestling until my late 20s.
Wow.
But he's an amazing wrestler. A lot of people that I talk to, they don't even know his work.
Right.
But he's amazing. He's always been amazing since he was a little kid.
Right. How about Tim Murray?
Oh, okay. Kilgore.
Timmy Kilgore, yes. I love his gimmick, how there's new stuff as he comes out singing songs. Guy's talented. He can sing.
He is. And he's evolved over the years.
Right.
So I had heard his name for years and never met him because he wasn't wrestling.
Right.
And then recently, a few years ago, he came back.
Yep.
And he is the softest, nicest, softest spoken person that I've met in wrestling. He's such a laid back, personable, nice person.
Yeah.
He wants to do whatever you want to do.
Right.
He wants to put on the best match and he doesn't have selfish feelings. He doesn't want to put himself over.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
He just wants the match to be great and help the person he's wrestling.
Exactly.
That's pretty cool.
Wonderful,
I definitely like that.
Wonderful.
Todd Harris?
Todd Harris. That is BRG now, right? Correct. Yes.
Is that who it is? That's
Todd,
Ryan Gosling?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
So BRG's previous gimmick was Todd Harris.
Okay. He's another young kid with a lot of talent.
Yes. So I was supposed to wrestle him in NCW.
Okay.
And unfortunately, it didn't happen for whatever reason.
Right.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to working with him in the future. I've known him for quite a few years, just bumping into each other at different shows.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Okay. Freaking Flax.
Freaking Flex. He's
Another
another WAW guy.
Yep. Nice guy.
He's one of the kind of leaders that has been there for many, many years.
Right.
Another person that people just kind of push to the side and discredit because he's from WAW.
Right.
But he is kind of the big character out of that group of people.
Right.
And he's always been that kind of over the top. He kind of implements a little too much sexual innuendo to be into his performances for some shows. But yeah, I feel like another guy that people should give a chance. Freaking Flex.
Absolutely. How about Coach C?
Oh man.
Now, a lot of young kids in wrestling right now.
Yes. So I met Coach C and his father, Wolverine, just by them coming to the shows.
Right.
And they would come up and interact with everybody. He would draw pictures of all the wrestlers.
Yeah.
And then at Wrestle Party, Sully Banger asked him, hey, we need you to be a coach for this match. And after that, he kind of ran with it and just said, okay, I'm just taking bookings now.
Nice.
As a little kid.
Yeah.
I'm a manager and I'm looking for bookings.
Nice.
So I have to admire his hustle.
Yeah.
He works harder than like actual wrestlers at putting himself over.
That's pretty cool.
And trying to get booked and stuff.
Yeah.
So you got to give the kid credit.
Absolutely. How about Theodore J. Liftington? I said that right, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Another one of
Just making sure.
Another one of my best friends in wrestling. You might know his evil twin brother, Judge Logan Chambers.
Oh, okay. Yep.
But yeah, he is the strongest man in the whole wide room. He loves to do wacky things that I love to do. So whenever we get to work together, whether it's on a team or against each other, we always have tons and tons of fun.
Excellent. How about Judge Logan Chambers?
Yeah, I really want to see the laws of science return.
Right.
When I started tagging with him, we just immediately had chemistry together.
Right.
We immediately had a shtick where he's the big strong guy and I'm the wacky guy running my mouth on the edge of the ring while he's doing the beating up in the ring.
That's awesome.
So we just have really good chemistry. We work well together.
Okay. How about a female, Isana, who at one point, do you remember? She was mad at me.
She was?
Do you remember?
I don't.
Because remember we had I thought you were saying something to me like it was when I was going to have Delilah. And all you said was, be nice to her.
Oh,
and I took offense to that. And I was like, wait. And then she came to your defense, which is what a good friend does. But very talented.
Yes.
The suplex sweetheart.
Yeah, so that was in gimmick. I was just in gimmick talking about Delilah Hayden to you to be like, don't be mean to her.
And I never had a relationship with her. So like when Todd said it, I knew that he was joking around.
So Isana was with me since day one.
Nice.
So we both started training at pretty much the exact same time. We were on a team for many years. It was me, Tom Billington, and her were like a unit in RWA.
Nice.
Yeah, we haven't really had a chance to wrestle each other, but again, one of my best friends in wrestling. Right. We've been together for the past 8 years.
Nice.
So
okay, Anthony Stone.
That's enough. So after JT Dunn. So JT Dunn moved to Philadelphia.
Right.
And that's when, so I couldn't train with him anymore.
Right.
So the RWA was looking for other trainers. They had Stone come in addition to Kellen and Triplicious.
Right.
So Stone was kind of running class. So I was going to Biff once a week and Stone once a week.
Nice. Excellent. Now that's, Hardcore Jesus is his nickname.
And I was actually supposed to wrestle him a few years ago, but I broke my foot, so I couldn't do it, and then it just never got scheduled again.
Right. Have you talked to him at all recently? Because remember, he had a bad accident.
Oh my God, yeah. He broke like all of his ribs and stuff.
To be alive,
but I think
crazy.
he's recovered since then.
Good.
So
good.
Yeah. Yeah, amazing guy, super nice guy.
Right. Now, do you know his sister, Jillian?
No.
Okay. She's actually in wrestling too. How about Dozer?
Chris Dozer?
Yeah.
Chris Dozer is another person that kind of, at the beginning, made me feel like I could actually wrestle.
Right.
So I wrestled against him at an RICW show, and he actually like let me get some stuff in on him and fight him. He was the RWA champion for like many years.
Oh, nice.
So when I first wrestled him, I was very nervous because I was wrestling like the champion of the company.
Yeah.
And to me at the time, RWA was like all I knew. So I thought that this was like, I was like, oh my God, I'm getting a title shot.
Right.
Like, and I'm only been wrestling for 6 months. This is amazing. Like, it was a huge deal to me at the time.
Nice.
But yeah, ever since then, I just continued to have a good relationship with him. And yeah.
Okay. How about Dan Terry?
Dan Terry is one of the funniest human beings
Thought I was
in professional wrestling. I think Dan Terry,
he could be.
He could be one of the McCheeses. You don't know. I think there's several people.
I think so too.
With that password.
I think so too. How about last name, and then I'll have you plug everything that you have on social media. Vern Vicalo.
Vern Vicalo. I haven't really had a chance to work with him.
Oh, okay.
But he's one of the top guys at NCW.
Right. Hard worker.
Hard worker. Nice guy.
Yep.
Yeah, from what I've seen of his work, he's amazing.
Nice.
I would love the chance to work with him soon.
Okay. That sounds good. Why don't you plug yourself on social media, Dick?
It's at Insane Dick Lane on Twitter and Instagram, and at Insane D Lane on Facebook.
Nice.
So you can see me post my goofy memes and videos and watch all types of Dick Lane content on any of those platforms.
Nice. Well, it took a while to get you in. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you came in. We can do this again someday if you'd like. You know what I mean? Now you know how to get to the studio.
Yes.
All right.
I was 45 minutes late. I
was just leaving too. You came at the right time. Dick, thanks.
Thank you so
much. We're out, guys. Peace.
The preceding program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.